About 35 years ago, a man in California's Central Valley named Kenji purchased a Mercedes 280 SE. This unique 280 SE, presented in two-tone colors of horizon blue and dark blue, was basically his child and baby and sat in his garage, even well after he was no longer able to work on the car. This car was willed to a friend of his because Kenji somehow in his heart knew that this man would give the car the loving home it deserved. But instead of going into the entire story of this car and how it ended up, well, here at my shop, we're going to hear right from the new owner, Mr. Joe Morgan, and his wonderful wife Sonya, who have agreed to give this car a loving home to their friend Kenji's wishes without flinching, which is truly admirable.
Yeah, so Kenji Sekishiro was a man that, for profession, he was a mechanic for Pacific Gas and Electric Company, and worked on their trucks, worked on their vehicles.
Okay. And how did you find out about the car?
Well, you know what had happened was, it was back in 1990, I think, when he first bought it. I was a district manager for a Burger King franchisee. As a matter of fact, that's where I met my long-suffering wife, was at the same Burger King restaurant. Did you want to expand upon that?
Certainly. So I was still in high school. He's a little bit of a cradle robber. But I would go in on my lunch break, and I ran for Miss Dinuba, and the Miss Dinuba candidates all got discounts at Burger King. So the manager would have to come out and key in the discount. Thus, Joe would come out, and he would flirt with me, and many years later, we ended up getting married. But so I like to joke and say, well, he met his wife at Burger King, and now he's met this car at Burger King.
Yeah, so at the time, we were getting married at the end of April in 1990, and I think Kenji bought the car the first or second week of April, and he wanted to come out and show me the car, so he came to the Burger King restaurant. It was at nighttime, and took me for a ride in the car. It certainly was a nice car. He seemed to think it had a lot of pep. I was used to driving around in a big block 454 Chevrolet Corvette, so that was a little bit more exciting, I think, than the Mercedes Benz was. But yeah, that was my introduction to the car.
Here,
Okay. Any more you want to tell us about? I mean, were you surprised when you got the inheritance? That how did that kind of? I mean, why you, so to speak?
Yeah, why me? Oh, good news, bad news. No, it wasn't bad news. It really was a situation where, Kenji had passed away in 2008, and I had mentioned to his wife about the car, and I said that if she ever wanted to sell it, I'd be happy to buy it from her. And then what happened was she passed away in 2019, and I hadn't heard from anybody probably in about a year and 3 months after she passed away. And then out of the blue, I got a phone call from this fellow. It was Nobi's nephew. His name was Grant, asking me if I liked their car and saying that the car was mine. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, the car is yours. And I said, well, yeah, but how much? He said, no, you don't understand. The car is yours. That Nobi knew that you wanted the car. They felt that you should have the car, and the car is yours for the taking. So I made arrangements, picked it up, towed it over to my house.
But it was very interesting because one day Joe goes, remember Nobi and Kenji, and they left me something. I inherited something. And I said, the car? He's like, yes, how did you know? I'm like, I just figured it would be the car. So when Joe first arranged to have it brought to our house, the dust on it was about this thick. Mm-hmm. It was, I was just thinking, oh my goodness. We already have one fixer-upper car, a 73 Cadillac Eldorado that just is not in great shape. What are we going to do with this car? I said, if we're going to take it, we have to actually get it fixed. And so Joe started doing a ton of research. He took it out and washed it. Once all of that layer of dust was off, it was like, oh my goodness, it's a beautiful car. The paint was in great shape. The interior was very scary with all kinds of debris from being stored, where maybe some mice decided to come and live with it a little while. But once he cleaned it out, and it became a hobby for him, going out every evening, polishing the car, cleaning the interior, and it was just like a new birth. It was coming alive and just beautiful. The interior was in great shape. The carpet was in great shape. The whole dashboard that I thought was beyond, because it just had leaves and things in it, was beautiful. So it's been pretty exciting to see kind of this butterfly coming out of its cocoon, and Joe having this new hobby and things to do. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. The interesting thing about the car is, my wife had alluded to the idea. I've got a 1973 Cadillac Eldorado, and good car, wonderful car, but with it, it's a little bit too much of everything. You go into the Mercedes 280 SE, and everything has a specific purpose. There isn't too much of anything, and it's all nicely done. All the interior pieces, the chrome is nice, the wood is nice. It's got MB Tex seats, which is basically what, vinyl or Naugahyde, but it's all in great shape.
Perfect.
And the car doesn't smell like an old car. So when you sit on the inside of the car, it smells like a new car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Welcome to Titusville, and we really appreciate you taking the time to appear on our channel.
Well, thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Would you like